Right, back again with part 4 of the refretting the Fender Jaguar. I'm not going to faff about all this because I want to get these frets in. Now what I've done is I've just put 3 in. They've gone in really well, as they do. It's not a difficult job. And there you go. There's the 3 I've already put in. I'm going to show you how I'm going to put these in. I'll show you the fret press and blah. I've got it set up. What I'm going to do with these is a little bit of super glue into all the frets in when they're pressed in. So I'm going to get on with that now, and I'll take you over to the fret press and I'll show you where we are. Just before I do that, I'll turn the camera around so you can see what's what. There's a fret press. You can see enough there. You can see I've got all the frets down here, all numbered up. Where they go, where they're from. You've got 22 down to 12, from 11 down to 1, so they're all lined up there. Got the fret press there. I'm going to run some glue inside this fret here. I'm going to get the next one in. I'm going to show you how we go on with it. Just get the fret hammer on there. All I'm going to do is, with the fret hammer, I'm just going to tap this end of the fret in so we get like, so we know we're lined up. We're lined up there. So we've got both ends lined up. I'm going to now get it on the jig. So all we do is, with the jig, we just line it up. Fret press. Make sure we're in the right area. And just give it a press in. That's it. The fret is now in. It's in all the way. I'm not going to worry about dressing the ends off, we'll do all that later. I'll just check the fret. Make sure it's in right. Yeah, that's in. I'll probably give it a tap on the end. Just bring the camera down a little. I might just give it a tap on the end there with the fret hammer and here. And then what I'll do is I'll check for level. I'll get the little fret level checker. Make sure it's all in level. So we'll go across these 3. No rock, no rock, no rock. Absolute level. So that's 4 in. So I'm going to blob on with this. Take it nice and steady, one at a time. Make sure we've got no run out on the glue on the side. And we're all good there. And that's fine. So that's it. I'm gonna blob on with this. Get these frets in. Once I've got them all in, I'll come back, I'll bring a video, I'll show you how we clip the ends off with the cutters and how we go about filing all the edges, and we go rounding the edges off. And by the time I come back, I mean, tonight I'm gonna get the frets in tonight, make sure we're all sat right, make sure we're all level. I'll do the trimming and the excess and all the edges and that tomorrow, because I've had a good few hours on cutting these frets out today and filing them down. So, you know, I've had enough of it today. So like I say, I'll get these frets in and I'll knock off till morning. I'll see you later. Right, back again. It's EU referendum day, like I care. It's been a real fun morning this morning. I had one thing to do this morning. Get this neck, get the last couple of frets in on this guitar, which I've done. But to be honest, I've spent most of the time faffing about on Facebook with Brexit and reasons why people are voting to leave the EU. I've not had one person come back yet with a valid reason for us voting to leave BEU. I'm not voting, I don't care, nothing's going to affect me. I don't give a shit, it's a false vote, it's a false flag, it means absolutely nothing. There's no way this country's going to vote to leave anyway. The reason there is a vote about it is because Cameron opened this big stupid mouth saying, oh, we're probably better off if we leave the EU, using it as a threat in the manifesto leading up to the last general election. He didn't mean a word he said, as he never does, you know what a lying twat he is, so it's a non-vote. All this is doing is showing me how thick people are in this country and how easily led they are and how stupid they are. And that's what I want to say on the matter. So getting back to the guitar, got the frets in, put the last few in this morning. Now the thing is, when you put the frets in, it's not you don't just put them in, snip the ends off and put it back together and put strings back on. Oh no, it don't work like that. Even though we're all in and we're all pretty much level, we're all seated right and everything, we've still got a lot of work to do. So I don't think all we have to do is come along and snip the ends off, blah 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 blah, like so, and that's it. Oh no, we've got a lot more work to do than that. Okay, we've got to snip the ends off, which we're going to do. Then we have to file the ends. We'll file them at an angle. We normally file them down at 30 degrees that way. Now I might file these, I don't know yet. I'm thinking of filing these dead level and just rounding the edges off. But chances are I'll just do the normal 30 degrees, I'll round the edges off anyway. But then we're still not done. You can't just put it back on the guitar. What we have to do then is we have to check that these frets are all level. Now the thing is, I didn't check the frets on the guitar before I took them out because I knew I was refretting it. Since putting them back on, I've realised there's a couple of high frets here. This one's high, for instance. This one's high, for instance, and there's a couple here a little bit high. That doesn't mean they've gone in wrong. What it means is the neck is not exactly level. So what I'll do is I'll get the neck levelled, and then I'll go along with my fret rocker, which is one of these job is, and I'll test. There's a rock there, straight on that one. Can you hear it clicking? Means that fret's high. No rock there, tiny bit there, means that fret's a little bit high. No rock there, no rock there. Now I know for a fact when we get up to this end, we've got rock on the 20th fret. We've got one down about 17th, I believe. Yeah, we've got a bit of rock there. This happens because when you're taking wood out where these are, your neck is going to get weaker in certain places. And if you've never read, when I remember looking at this neck before I took it off the guitar, and it were absolutely dead straight, but no relief in it at all. Now we all play with a little bit of relief that way. So what I'll do is I'll get this neck, what I'll do is I'll get it dead straight, I'll alter the truss rod till it's dead straight, and then I'll clamp this using these screw holes. I'll clamp it to a piece of wood, a good piece of wood, good piece of thick solid MDF, and I'll get it back. I'll take this down, the fret, because the frets are in now, they're done, be glued in, and I'll get the neck jig, I'll get the guitar jig set back up, and what I'll do is I'll get that strapped to the jig again. We'll get it all levelled off. Once it's level, my next job begins. My next job is a 9.5 radius. My next job is to sand all the frets level. This kind of affair. Blah blah blah. And we'll go on like that. And I'll use a nice I'll use a coarser paper that's on there at the moment. And what we'll do is we'll get these all exactly level. Once they're level, we'll go with a finer grade of sandpaper. We'll get them all, get all the scratches off and everything. Then, what we're going to do is, because we're sanding the frets, we're going to make the top flat. Now that's no good. If you see here, the curved, we've got a what we call a crown, and we need that crown putting back in. So once I've got them all level, I've got to put that crown back in again. So what we do is we file them by hand, obviously, and we get that crown back in. Because what we want is we want to strip down the centre of about 0.5 millimetre where the string touches the fret. I want as minimal contact as we can. So what we do is we go with a, I've explained this before, this is just what I'm going to be doing. I'll take a, for instance, I'll take a marker pen and I'll marker pen all of the frets, every single one. You see how there, look, I've got about 1.5 mm thick. Now I've done that for a reason. I've done that just to show and highlight what I'm going to do. But once I've done that, going to get my file and we're going to round these back off. And we're going to leave it just so there's a thin strip down the centre. So we've got a nice crown there. So that's all got to be done. So we're far from done yet, just because we've changed the frets. Now this whole process so far has taken me, we've cutting the frets down, cutting the tangs off, gluing them in and getting them all pressed in. It's probably had 4 or 5 hours. I've probably had 5 hours on this so far, and I've still got hours to go. So don't think that when we're doing a refret we're doing 2-3 hours work and we're charging 150 quid for it and we're getting away with murder, because there's a lot of work goes into this. Don't forget, with the refret as well, you get a full setup. Now a full setup is basically a strip down and rebuild on a guitar, which again takes another hour and a half. So by the time I've done this, I'd have put in about 10 hours. Consider that a lot of luthiers most luthiers charge between 25 and 40 quid an hour. I'm actually one of the, I'm cheap, me. It's not that. There's a lot of work goes into this kind of stuff. But we love doing it. I love doing it. I love doing refrets. It's a lot of work, but by the time I've done this, I want to spend, it's not about the hours, I'd have probably spent 2-3 days, part days, on this guitar. I'm going to get it done. It'll be done for Saturday. I can't remember if the guy says he's got a gig or not Saturday night, but I'm going to blob on with it today. I'll do little bits of video here and there, but I'm not going to do too much because I want to get cracked on with this now. I've already done videos explaining how these things are done, so I'll leave it for now. I might add a little bit to this a bit later, but for now that's it. Talk soon. Right, good morning. It's the 24th of June. We're now a part of an independent nation. I understand Britain is now independent from Europe, but that's another story for another day. That said, just before I do leave that subject, I'm not British, I'm English. I'm born an Englishman, I'll always be an Englishman. Just because my passport doesn't say I'm English, doesn't mean I'm not English. But like I say, it's a story for another day. Back on to the Jaguar. I obviously got the frets in yesterday. I should have worked on it last night, but I couldn't be bothered. I went to bed. I was really tired yesterday, and I thought I'm going to get some extra sleep, which I did. And I'm up and I'm feeling good this morning. But I'm going to show you where I'm at now with the guitar, with the neck itself. Now what I'm going to do is, there you go. You can see it's here, it's on here. I'm going to talk while I zoom this in. I'm going to tell you exactly how it's going to be. I'm just about to set it all up on the jig again. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to alter the truss rod. I'm going to get this neck dead straight. Once it's straight, I'll get it all clamped up. Get all this clamped up and tightened, so the guitar can't move. I'll get it clamped this end, tied down. Get it all clamped up here. We'll get it set absolutely straight. We'll zero all the dials out. Once it's absolutely straight, then I can start working on these frets and get them levelled off and re-crowned. By that I mean I'm going to be going across with the radius block, radius to 9.5 inches, which is what this is radiused at. I'll be skimming across all the frets, making them all level. I'll walk up on them all, and once I start getting these two high ones down to where we need to be, I'm going to go with some. I've got to change this paper, put some thicker course on, and then I'll get back to a fine grade, and we'll get them all leveled off. Once they're all level, I'll get my crowning file, and I'll get them all crowned off, all shaped off. First job I'm going to do is take these edges off, which I'm going to be doing shortly. I'm not going to show, I've got the tools for it, I ain't got them out yet. I'm not going to show how I'm going to do all this because I've done it all before on other videos. This is just to end off part 3 of the video I did before. Is it part 4? I'm not quite sure, but it'll all be one video. Anyway, so I'm going to crack on with this, and in the next video I'm going to show you how I'm going to be crowning, levelling and crowning all these frets. So that concludes this part of the video, and I'll get back to you later.